Had you that first time, and I was like, that was a check off my bucket list.
Stop it, Sway.
Nah, I have to, Angie. I read this book, My Voice, Angie Martinez, a memoir by Angie Martinez, and it was like, for me, well, first of all, congratulations on another book.
Thank you, fam. Thank you.
Shit is dope, yo. And, man, I'm reading through this book because, you know, I grew up in Cali, and...
Oh, so you resonated to the Pac parts probably, right?
Nah.
Really?
Nah, because I think this, God bless Pac, that was a friend of both of ours, but there's so many other things that define you. And you and I had talked about the Pac part, and I thought that was interesting, but, you know, we've been reliving that, you know, for a long time, and it was great to hear your insight on that. And I love the way you paint the picture, how you describe the scene, and how the Outlaws were there, and you could tell they revered him, and how
I tried to give details because I really, in every story, I tried to like really put myself back in the moment of it so I could remember the details, because I really do remember those little details, because those are the things that you feel when you walk into a room and everybody's like serious. That's the moments you feel. You know what I'm saying? So I really wanted to put those little details in there because I feel like when I read a book, that makes a difference for me.
It paints that picture,
right? It
right?
paints that picture, yeah, man. And so I was conscious of that and really trying to take you to the moments.
The honesty in it, which
did it surprise you?
Shit. I mean, well, you know, I was looking at it from your perspective when you said you made a comment that Pac had the ability to kind of like talk circles around you.
Yeah, I was not ready for him at that age.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I was curious about is, what did you feel in the moment realizing that, damn, I don't really got a grip on this? You know, like this shit is pounding, it's moving. It's like
it's a train, and I came like to walk. Yeah, I came on my bicycle and box on like a train right now.
Yeah, and then what did you dig to?
I just did my best, man. I just did my best to try to get in there, to try to get I was like, I had my one agenda. My one agenda was to try to get him to say something that I could use to say, see, it's not really that bad, guys.
Yeah.
Of course, he never really gave me that too much. But, you know, I learned a lot, and it was an important moment for me, and, you know, in the history of hip hop, so it was important to share it.
Absolutely.
You know what's crazy is, like, me and Sway was talking about this morning. I was like, you know what's weird when Angie comes, like, Angie's interviewed us before, like for different reasons.
Yeah,
like
that's crazy, right?
Show. And it's like it's crazy with her, but radio has changed so much now. Like you fast forward to 2016, everything is recorded now. Is there any interview that you wish you actually had on like visual?
All of them. That's the one thing I feel, and that's one of the reasons I wrote the book too, because I don't feel like the things that happened in radio, especially at that time, are well documented.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing if I have to say a regret, that is the one regret I have of my career, is that I wasn't insightful enough to know that these moments are going to matter one day. And I wish I had this on video. Some of them I don't even have audio of. I have memories of like interviewing Big, and Big telling me, yo, I got this girl, but she don't rap. She ain't hard like all these other. She wears tight dresses. I remember him telling me about Little Kim and how different she was from everything. You know what I mean? I have these memories in my head of these moments. There's no audio, there's no video. It's just in my head. It's like these little and whoever else. You know what's been dope too is since I've been on this, people been hitting me like, yo, I have a tape of that. Or I have a
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find. There's a few things I'm missing that I hoping like appear at some point from the catalog. But that's the one regret is not having it. Not taking photos and videos. No videos.
No photos really, because it used to be
no photos. Everybody was too cool. I don't want to take no
picture. I ain't asking for no autograph. Fuck that nigga. You know, it was like that.
And at any point throughout your career, because especially when you start off as just a seed and you're in your infancy stages, and maybe people I'm talking about like the higher ups, the suits, have an idea of how they want to shape you as a personality. Did anyone ever like pressure you to ask this? Or to maybe
never, thank God. But I came up, they didn't know. The people that were like starting, they weren't of the culture. The people who decided we're gonna go full steam hip hop station first time, they weren't of the culture. So they kind of looked at me and they looked at Flex and they looked at us that were there like, go ahead. Like, y'all tell us what we should be doing. It was kind of very loose like that, and we were lucky to come up in a time that we could have that freedom, so we could develop ourselves and our own voices and our own presence. Because now it's everything is everybody plays so scared that it's hard to even take those chances.
Right.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
Cole was saying in the forward.
Yeah.
And
I
something else.
know. I love that he said that, and he didn't even read the book. He just wrote that like on the strength of what he was feeling or what he was hoping that I would answer in the book. And so when I got it, I was just like, wow, this kid is crazy.
Yeah. Angie Martinez is here.
Hi, Sway.
How you doing, Angie?
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you, man.
Yeah.
I like your studio. You changed it up a little bit.
Well, we knew you were coming.
For me?
Yeah.
So nice. So nice.
I know you like the blues, so we threw the blues up in there, and we cleaned it all up. Another thing that you'll find out in the book is your upbringing. You know, and I was reading. I didn't know you were. I didn't know, man. You were from the Heights. You know, you got
my family's from the Heights.
Yeah.
Got dragged to Brooklyn because my mother was trying to get me far away from everything.
Okay.
I don't know why she thought Brooklyn was going to be better than the Heights for me.
Brooklyn.
I don't know
It's a
why.
lot safer, right?
Yeah, it's like it'll be so much better in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It was the same shit in Brooklyn. And then that went bad, and then she tried to send me to Florida to live with my aunt because I was being nuts, and I started doing the same thing there. And I think she just kind of gave up after that, and she just brought me back to New York.
Brought you back, and then your father wasn't really a part of your life, like
and I haven't seen him since I'm 10 years old. So I don't know where he is.
Really?
Maybe he's listening.
He could be. He might be a citizen of Sway in the morning. It's a good chance. A lot of people listen, Angie.
Wow, that's
he
crazy.
he didn't pop back up after you interviewed the president, maybe, or
No, nothing.
Well, he didn't see you on The View.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. You know, he had some issues back in the day, and so I'm not sure what happened to him. I'm not sure if he's made it. I'm not sure what kind of condition he's in. So I don't know. It's just kind of a mystery.
I had similar upbringing, but when I had my child, I wanted to make sure that I broke that cycle and was a father that was in my daughter's life. Was that important to you?
I love that.
Yeah.
But did you So you reconnected with your parents or with your father? Or?
No, well, I did reconnect with my father before he passed away.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe
that's nice.
2 years before he passed away. I got a chance to thank him. Hey man, thank you for the breath that you put in my lungs. Let me share with you what I did. I was able to do that. And then I showed him pictures of my daughter. His only grandchild, and I wanted to make sure that I was in her life.
What was his reason for not being in your life? Did he have problems? Did he have addictions? Did he have?
I'm being interviewed by Angie again.
Sorry.
On my show.
I'm so sorry.
I told you.
I can't help it. I'm so sorry. I'm so
It just
sorry.
happens every time she comes up here.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh, Angie.
It's like
Okay,
I can't help it.
we end up doing this. Okay, then I'm gonna ask you the same question.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know his reasoning, but being a father now, I don't hold nothing against him, and my mother never talked bad about him.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what his reasons were. Yeah.
That's good for you.
Yeah.
You know what? I was talking to Remy the other day. Remy and Joe having an amazing moment right now. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And when talking to her, she was saying that when she got out of, the whole reason her and Joe connected was because in jail, she was like, when I get out of here, I don't want to be mad at anybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you spend some time with Remy and you know her before and you know her now, you could see the difference in her spirit. You could see the difference in what karma is giving to her. Just because she made that conscious decision to like be positive, be in a good place, let go of any kind of anger or negativity that she felt. She reconnected with Joe, and I think that just says a lot about what kind of energy you hold, what kind of energy you choose to have in your life. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's probably it's a similar type of thing.
Similar, and you just let go of load.
Yeah, man.
Have you had that opportunity with your father, or is that not something you're interested in?
I have no ill feelings, but I don't have really any feelings because I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? I do know that he had some, some drug issues and some issues in that space and some addiction issues, and so I just chalk it up to somebody who was struggling in life and was not capable of being a good parent. And I'm grateful that I had a good parent who kind of filled it up, and that's how I look at it. I don't I'm not angry. I'm not like, I don't hold any like all men suck or anything. I don't have like weird stuff like that.
You didn't have no man issues.
I don't have any weird stuff like that.
You wasn't clingy in your past relationships.
I love the 90s. Like, this, for the same reason Angie regretted is why I love it. You know how sometimes people, they say girls with daddy issues wasn't around. Like, if you was a whore in the 90s, and like everybody knew, like you was a fucking whore, like you was a 12 whore.
How did we get here? What's happening?
Listen, I'm gonna break it down.
We're talking about your past. No, I'm just joking. I'm
So
joking.
if she had issues with girls who have issues now,
That's not in your book.
I'm breaking it down. Get here. Girls who have issues now, it's all documented. You can see it. You could just be like,
oh, I see her Instagram page.
I see her, she don't got no father. But back then, if you had issues, it wasn't documented. Nobody really knew. I would have never thought that about you. Like that you didn't know your. It just seemed. Nobody really knew. Like it didn't seem like that you had a father who was dealing with drug issues, because it was everybody wasn't in everybody's business like that. Put it like that. So if people knew your business, you was out there. That's what I'm trying to say about the night.
Angie Martinez has joined us, man. We're gonna open up the phone lines 888-742-3345. Yeah, you're gonna find out a lot about Angie in her new book. It's called My Voice, a memoir. Angie Martinez.
Some of it is too damn much.
Well, you speak on your relationship with Q-Tip.
Yeah,
in it,
was that strange? You knew that though, right?
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. I didn't. It wasn't strange to me because it was known, and you did it tastefully. I mean, you waited all these years to even really publicly speak on it, right? Is this your first time really writing about it?
Yeah, and it's not like it wasn't like a writing about our full relationship. It was just writing about a moment that we both actually lost our lives, and I wrote about that because. For a couple reasons. Number one, I had to tell the story of dating him because it led into another story. So I had to kind of mention it. But also, we both almost lost our life that night in that fire. And so that was a big thing for me. And so so that's one of the reasons I chose to tell that story.
Talk about the fire. You just said that fire, and the listeners are like, what
fire?
Well,
Tip had a fire in his house. I was there that night. And it started in his studio, and the whole house burnt down. I mean, and he literally, I could have died. I easily could have died that night. Like he was downstairs trying to figure out what was happening. I was upstairs, and the flames were already like coming up the stairs. Like it was bad. So he's telling me to run down the stairs to come through the fire, and I'm like ready to jump off the balcony, which was way too high. I would never, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, he lost. He lost music. He lost all his, his vinyl collection. Everything in the studio burnt down. It was a tough night. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was a tough night. So I tell that story because it's one that mattered to me, and it was scary, and so now. Yeah,
you talk about what I find interesting is your mindset before you go into interviews.
And the other reason I wanted to tell the story of my relationship with Tip is because we're really friends. And I think it's important to show that you could date somebody and then not date them and then actually have a respectful, amazing friendship with people. It doesn't have to be like weird or
agree.
Or, he's somebody that, I mean, we were friends much longer and for a longer time than we ever dated. So, you know what I'm saying? He's somebody that I consider a friend. And so I had no problem with sharing that story.
Did you, were you ever apprehensive? Because at that time it wasn't well documented when people on one side of the business, would get together, fraternize with folks on the other side.
Fraternize?
So however you,
is that what we say? Is that what we say?
But relationships weren't popular. And then we were, it seemed like the radio personalities and the journalists always kept it separate from the artists.
Really, Sway? Really?
To the public eye.
To the public eye. I never
dated an artist?
Never dated an artist.
You're a liar. I don't believe
Wait, hold up. I'm trying to think.
Have you kissed one?
Have you kissed one?
Yeah, man, I kiss artists every time they come up in the, on Sway in the morning.
It goes down?
Yeah, well, we grab ass. We do a lot of stuff. But I never was romantically involved with an artist.
Really?
Never was romantically involved. Whoa!
Lies you tell.
Okay.
Lies.
But not at that time. The artist was on the come up.
I don't look at people like artists, not artists. Yeah. It just was like, you meet who you meet. You connect with who you connect with. Like, it is, it is what it is. I mean, it has to be a respectful situation. You don't want somebody that's like, in it for the wrong reasons, for whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you meet who you meet. I have no like boundaries.
You don't put any separation between.
Listen, if we're like-minded and we're both have integrity and some sort of like understanding of how we, hold ourselves and what we stand for, then it doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter.
I can appreciate
I could
that.
see how some people, it could be a problem. Yeah. If you're not centered in something, if one person has an agenda or something like that, I could see it being a problem. But I'm a pretty good judge of character, I think.
With a lot of the jobs I had, they've always had rules. It's probably why I didn't partake. I know with MTV, it was always, you cannot have a personal, they wouldn't allow, they didn't want you to have
really at MTV.
Yeah, MTV when I was there.